Hello everybody, as you can see, we are on the parking lot of Faith Miracle Temple. And man, I am so very happy to come to you guys at this time. First of all, let me say this, we miss you dearly. I mean, personally, I miss seeing your faces. I miss hugging you and giving you a high five and all those things that we do to show our love and appreciation for each other. But what I really wanted to do was just give you a short walkthrough here at Faith Miracle Temple, because it won't be long until we come back to our location. And what we want to do is make sure that when you get here, everything will be prepared for you as far as your safety is concerned. And we know we have a lot of mandates from the Center for Disease Control, and we want to make sure that when you come back, everything will be in place. Now, I recognize that some people are different from others, and you might not be ready to come back at the same time that others are. That's okay. You know, we want you to come back when you're ready. But when you come back, what we want to do is make sure that everything is in place for you. For instance, like when you first arrive at the church for worship, when you decide to come back, there's going to be a wait of 30 minutes before you enter into the sanctuary. That's going to give us time to make sure that everything is in place for your arrival. And when you get here, you'll see we have a number of social distancing signs and things of that nature that you're going to have to adhere to. Like this one tells us, obviously, that you're going to have to practice social distancing, because the 6-foot rule will be in place here, okay? We want to do that because that's exactly what will help us to stay safe. Well, let's go inside and see exactly what we will encounter once you come in. We have encountered now our temperature screening checkpoint. And at this checkpoint, one of the nurses is going to be here to take your temperature with a laser thermometer. I'm going to get mine checked right now.
94.6.
94.6, so I'm good to go. Now, but let me say this, there's only one way in, and that's this door, and on the other side of the complex, there is another door. That will be the exit door. You can only come in one way, you can only go out another way. But let me say this to you also. If your temperature checks to be above 99 degrees, we're going to wait a minute, and then we're going to check it again. If your temperature registers above 99 degrees, we're going to ask you to dismiss yourself, and probably you need to check with your doctor to see if you have been infected by the coronavirus. But if you pass the second time, you can enter into what we call our nurses station. When you come to the nurses station here, we have sanitizer for you. Before you can enter into the sanctuary, you need to either wash your hands and or use sanitizer. So I guess I'll use a little sanitizer right now, make sure I'm all right. Okay. Now here, one of the nurses will be here to make sure that you are ready to move further. There are a number of questions that will be asked to you that pertains to whether or not you have been infected with COVID-19. What are some of the questions you all are going to ask?
Have you been diagnosed with COVID-19 or exposed to anyone with COVID-19? Have you been on a plane, visited a hospital, nursing home, or a senior community? If you have, then we're going to ask you to step outside and we'll talk to you about, going to see your doctor. But if you answer no to all of those questions, then what we would do is put a tag on you to let everybody know that you were screened here at the nurses station.
All right. Well, that's very awesome. So are there any other things that you will do at this station?
We'd like to add that as long as you're in the sanctuary, we ask that you don't hug, kiss, or shake hands. If you want to greet, just kind of wave your hand, nod your head, and keep your distance. Also, if you have to cough or sneeze, we should have tissues on every pew, but if you don't have a tissue, you can go ahead and cough and sneeze in the inner part of your arm. If you do cough into the tissue, we ask that you cover it a second time and then bring it out and throw it into a covered receptacle. Also, while you're in the sanctuary, please don't touch anyone or anything. If you do touch something, you do have the sanitizer, just sanitize your hands at that time. Also, make every effort not to touch your face, your eyes, or your mouth. And please keep your mask on the entire time that you're here.
And let me say this to you guys. When you enter into Faith Miracle Temple Church, you got to have on your mask. If you don't have a mask, let me say this to you, we'll give you one. As you can see, we have these social distancing points in the foyer. They are 6 feet apart. Everybody that you bring, and including you, have to adhere to the 6-foot rule. Now, when you come into the sanctuary, nobody will be allowed to drink from the water fountain, right? We want everybody, if it's available, we want you to drink bottled water only. Remember that again, bottled water only. Hey, whenever you bring a guest to Faith Miracle Temple, our greeters will give them more information about what's allowable and what isn't.
What's up, Bishop? How you doing?
Hey, I know everybody hasn't seen each other in a long time. We have a very warm, caring, and loving congregation, but we still have to adhere to the guidelines of the Center for Disease Control. What that means is no handshakes, no hugs, no kissing, nothing like that. A good head nod and a warm verbal greeting is enough. As we enter into the sanctuary, I want you to know that we have some very capable ushers that are very versed at moving you through our sanctuary, as you well see. Remember this, we can only get 160 people into our sanctuary at one time. That's because of the mandate from the Center for Disease Control to adhere to social distancing. Yes, that's the 6-foot rule. Let me give you an example. Like this pew here seems to be about 18 feet long. We can only get 3 people on this pew. So we want you to allow our ushers to lead you with all diligence. We want you to obey their commands because, man, this job is not easy. Again, only 160 people in this sanctuary, but we're going to work together and make it work. I am here with Brother Clarence Bonner, and he is the director of our usher ministry, and he wants to share with you some things you can do to help make his job a whole lot easier.
Yes, and as we escort you to your pew, we ask that you scoot as far in on the pew as possible to help with the social distancing. Thank you.
We are in the gymnasium of Faith Miracle Temple. Why are we here? Well, since we can only get 160 people in our sanctuary, this will serve as an overflow. Let me remind everybody that social distancing and all of the other mandates and specifics that pertains to the sanctuary pertains here. Let me tell you, it's going to be nice, it's going to be off the chain, it's going to be something that you will never forget the rest of your life. So consider being a part of those who view the services right here in Faith Miracle Temple's gymnasium. And as you leave the sanctuary preparing to go home, I want you to remember that we have a hand sanitizer station right before you exit the facility. After you and your guests have had a wonderful worship experience here at Faith Miracle Temple and you leave the sanctuary, let me remind you that the same social distancing mandates that you experience coming in is the same going out. In other words, we don't need anybody loitering. We're sorry for that. No hugs, no kisses, no high fives, no handshakes. We need everybody to get to their cars as soon and as safe as possible. And I know it seems like it's a little difficult, but all we're trying to do is make sure everybody's safe. And as you prepare to leave the campus, going to your cars, the same social distancing rules apply. What I mean by that is our parking lot attendants will help you understand exactly what you need to do to stay safe and to prepare to leave our campus. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back here at church. You know how Faith Miracle Temple does it. I'm looking forward to the power of God falling, great preaching, great singing, and just great fellowship. I look forward to seeing you guys back here when we bring everybody back into the sanctuary. But until then, remember, God wants to take you to higher ground.